Good afternoon. Think back to when you were a child. What do you remember? I remember the simple things. I remember the 5 amazing meals my mom made every week that I loved, that I still love to this day. I remember my dad taking me to school in his company van before school, where he sat to my left and my brother to my right, and I sat on a milk crate. I remember my birthday parties and being surrounded by family, blowing out candles and eating chocolate cake every year. What I don't remember are the craft projects or how my Christmas presents were wrapped under the tree, or certainly how my birthday parties were themed. Now, I do recall there being an elf, and it was the elf on the shelf. But our elf just sat perched in the Christmas tree as a decoration, as it still does to this day at Christmas time. What I'm trying to convey is that children don't remember all of these crazy things that we're doing as parents in this new social media world that we live in today. It used to be acceptable to buy birthday decorations. Now, I'm supposed to be Martha Stewart and handcraft an owl-themed birthday party for my 1-year-old twins, which I did, and it was amazing. But I didn't do it for my children. That's the problem. So after I had a nervous breakdown, I wised up a little bit. Life isn't fair. We teach our children not to compete with others, but as adults, we're in constant competition, and the playing field is social media. So, how many of you are parents in this room? How many of you have friends that are parents? How many of you have parents? Okay, so now that we have that established, how many of you are on some type of social media network? Okay. So social media is making many of us, especially parents, feel inadequate. Parenting today is completely different than in a previous generation. The existence of social media as a whole has basically, we're comparing constantly to each other. It used to be that we compared to our neighbors, our friends, our families. Now, not only am I comparing, but others are comparing themselves to me. And, well, my 931 Facebook friends are constantly looking at what I'm doing. And that doesn't even include Instagram, Twitter, and all the other social media networks I'm involved in. Sorry, but you're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly on my social media network. According to today's mom survey of 7,000 mothers, 42% say that Pinterest causes them anxiety. 42%. And that doesn't even include the other social media networks. Instagram is basically a filtered view of our lives, causing mothers to want to be the perfect mom. And Facebook is a breeding ground for social media anxiety, or like I like to refer to it as, fake booking. Parenting is the most difficult task that most of us share. And guess what? We're all making it up as we go. We're not reading those parenting books. we're certainly not taking the advice of others. We're basically Google searching and pinning our way through parenting. When my son was 16 months old, I was blessed with identical twin girls. And I quickly learned that good enough was going to have to be enough. And from the wise words of my mother, she said, "You do what you have to do to get by sometimes." And that's the truth. You can't do everything as a parent. You're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. That's how we learn. Why do you think that a woman out there created PinterestFails.com? You should check it out. It's actually better than the original Pinterest because it's real life. We need to show our children how real parenting looks like. It's not a game. It's real life. We cry, we laugh, we cry. Children aren't supposed to be dressed perfectly. They're supposed to be given the freedom to express themselves and be dirty. My children started dressing themselves around age 3, mainly so it was easier on myself. I had 3 children under 4 or so. And I love seeing every day that they come down the stairs and I have my hipster boy, my pretty little princess, and my tomboy. And I let them express themselves, and I don't make them change. I allow them to be as perfect as they are as individuals. Children don't expect you to be the perfect parent. They are going to love you unconditionally. They just want to be shown your affection. And children, they don't care if your plans don't go perfectly. So what are some things that you can do to lower your social media anxiety? Focus on what you're good at. Maybe you should hire a babysitter that loves to do crafts, and they can do those Pinterest things with your children. I know I certainly do it, and I'm an artist. I love to paint. I love to do crafts. But unfortunately, I don't always have the time, and so you have to choose what you want to focus on. Pinterest is a great way to get inspiration. So be inspired, embrace it. And when you maybe have that imperfect craft, post that on social media, because it's probably more real than what most people are seeing on your feed. And stop competing with your friends. Instead, embrace the bond we have as parents and learn from each other. Think back to when you were a child and what you recalled. The simple memories where you were shown love in the smallest ways. And finally, focus on what's most important here. Raising our next generation not to be in constant competition with each other, but lifting them up as the individuals that they're meant to be. Thank you.